question was, what was the question?
How did you come to tell these stories?
Oh, how did I come to tell these stories? Me, who has never been able to tell a joke and remember the whole thing. It was my search for truth, because I found as a child that I was being lied to. The reality that was being represented to me by people that were the only people I knew at the time and trusted, although there wasn't a word for that at the time. It just was in discordance with what I was experiencing. When I was 3, they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and somehow I was aware of this, and I remember looking out of my bedroom window as I'm doing at this moment with a sense of wonder, looking down the neighborhood block and feeling like there had been a sticky, grayish film that had descended over everything, and how somehow there had been a planetary shift in that moment, that someone could drop a bomb on all the people, nameless people, in 2 cities and wipe it out. And that it was tolerated, that then people just went on with their lives. And I would see people in the wheelchairs, I don't know, but I got a feeling that life wasn't going to be fair. And there was something about it wasn't fair, that it wasn't going to be fair, and I didn't want to live with it. So I sat on the floor of my closet and said, God, if there is one. And I had been searching. I'd go out in the morning while the household slept and go to a Methodist Lutheran, sit with my ear up against the synagogue doors and listen to the cantors speak. I was just looking, a desperate search for truth. Okay, there we go. And somehow in my just having to get up with the sun every day, whether I wanted to or not, and desperately needing to know, or I was going to go crazy, what was truth. And in the beginning I thought, what is God? Where is God? Just had to know, or I was going to break into pieces. So I guess there was an inner place in me that, whether it was marriages and children and grocery lists and keeping the bathroom clean, there was always this primal search for truth. So what I share with people today is what I found, what resonated for me. Like your friendships, no matter what, it doesn't go away. It doesn't diminish. There's just a core strength there. And in meeting with the Hopis, which was a primal change, and in my life, I guess we all, when we hear truth, our bodies resonate and go dong, and we take it in. And so the stories, as I began my search, my family had hidden the fact that I am. My mother and father came together. Neither one of them knew the other was Indian. In my mother's family, my mother and grandmother bleached their hair, bleached their skin. There's a thing called porcelana. The little bit of Spanish ancestry and French was the only thing they talked about. My Mexican grandmother had a bunch of Louis XV knockoffs, and that was the culture that she created around her. And not only, as my grandfather requested, there not be any crucifixes in their house, there also was absolutely nothing that showed our Mexican or our Indian heritage. And a bunch of light-skinned Mexican women called their group the Pan American Club. So, and I used to get so dark playing in the sun and so forth that when the Pan American Club women came over to my grandmother's house, she would give me some food and some books and ask me to stay in the bedroom because I was so dark. And every now and then she would call me her little Indita. And I had this is a connection. I am part of a legacy of women, one in each generation, that were born with holes in our ears right here. When I finally asked my grandmother what this was about, she showed me hers. And she said, there is one woman in each generation born with this mark. And I said, what does it mean? And she just said, it's for special listening. And so the last thing that I heard from the Hopi now, following the Hopi 10 that came in April, actually Easter Sunday in April of '93 in Hopi, which I share with you now, the Hopi 10, is I waited for the elders to come. I'd been there 7 days. It was Sunday. I had to go back to school on Monday. I had slept in my station wagon in the front yard of mine and John Langsa's house, and they were both passed away now, but I had spent much of my 20s sleeping on their front porch or in my car. My life was connected to that now abandoned house, and I slept there that night in my car and felt the elders won't come, and so I was getting ready for the 1,000-mile ride. It is exactly 1,000 miles. The odometer goes 999, click, 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 from Haute Villa and Oribe, Third Mesa, to Highway 101. And so I was going to take the forbidden photo. They asked very little of me when I was receiving so much from them, but one of the rules was you don't take a photo here in Oribe. And I had my camera, and the elders hadn't come, and this was clearly going to be my last trip to Hopi. So I picked up my camera, and I kept waiting because as the sun came up and divided the black purple that went to blue purple with this orange opening to the east, and I was going to give myself one picture, and then it illuminated the ladder coming out of the kiva in front of me, out of the belly button of the emergence into the fourth world by the people. And so just every second it was getting better, and just as I was about to take the photo, I heard a shuffling. And I saw to my right the elders were coming down the dirt road, and I dropped the camera, and I didn't say a word. I'd been caught in the almost forbidden. And then about 5, but there seemed to be 2 more elders there as well. And then this old man and this younger man standing next to him. And they didn't acknowledge my presence at all. They were maybe 30, 40 feet away. And he began like this. He said, "You've been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell them it is the hour, and there are things to be considered." And he began, "Where do you live? What is it that you are doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to step forward and speak your truth. Then create your communities. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. And then he clapped his hands and said, and this could be a good time. Where do you live? What is it that you're doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know this garden. It is time to step forward and speak your truth. We all were born as our spirit, our eternal spirit, entered this temporary body. We came forward with a truth, and each one of us had a strength that would always be there, and our truth is what we carry. And it is now what we give back, especially at this time. And when you speak your truth, we can find each other and create our community. And then, like an art form, let us be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for a leader. And this could be a good time. Uncle John Iroquois Elder says, tell the people that there is a river flowing now very fast. It is so swift and wide and great that there will be those who will be afraid. They'll try to hold on to the shore. They will suffer greatly. If you try to hold on to the shore, you'll feel as though you're being torn apart. The elders say, we know the source and the destination of this river. We are aware of the nature of this river. And this we ask you to do. Push off into the middle of the river. Keep your eyes open, your head above water. And I add to this, I say, see who you are finding in the river with you at this time. Be good to them and celebrate. There is a river flowing now very fast. Push off into the middle of it. Keep your eyes open, your head above water. Honor the people that are in there with you. Celebrate. The last that I've heard from the Hopi is 3. Now I can't even remember what was the event around the 3. You know, the 10 was in 93. And now, if you can get these 3, we're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And the first one is show up for your life. Show up for your life. Be in the moment. It is the only reality. The past had to do with the past. It's not us. It isn't now. It's done. Forgive means to let go the past. Future doesn't exist yet. Only the moment. Can you handle the moment and give it your best shot? Handle the moment. Be in the moment and do your best. And then the third thing is watch the movie. Be the witness. Show up for your life. Be in the moment. Give it that moment your best. And then watch the movie. Create beauty and let's love each other. Dan. We thank you. Nancy, thank you for taking care of this guy wherever you are. What, since 91?
Oh, yeah.
And it always worked. Oh, God.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking me, Joe.